song used to say, say yeah. You know that song? That is a lie. That's all I can say. They also wanted to say, okay, that's a lie. That's all I can say.
Great. Now we know the position of our facilitators. Let's start with this issue of suffering and sin. Suffering, punishment from God, is suffering a sign? Okay, is suffering always a sign of sin or punishment from God? That's the question.
I can start. No, suffering is not always as a result of sin, and you can see that in the life of Jesus. He committed no sin, yet he was known as a suffering servant. And of course his suffering was different because his suffering was eventually to deal away with our own suffering that we have to face. But then we have many other righteous people in the Bible who suffer for various reasons. So the thing is that I believe that suffering is not always as a result of sin, neither is it always as a result of punishment from God. But God does remind us in His Word that if any man suffer, let it not be because of their own disobedience. Because sin and disobedience can lead to suffering, not always, but sometimes. But also, so that's the first thing about suffering, that you can suffer because you have sinned, but also you can suffer not because of anything you have done, but because we live in a sinful world. You can experience suffering because of that. My own experience of looking at suffering, I've seen at least 4 different facets of suffering. Those who suffer because of their mistakes, those who suffer because we're in a sinful world, those who suffer maybe under temptation or trial, and then there are those who you can never know the reason. You will never know the reason why you may have to suffer. There are some sufferings that will take place even among righteous people. We will never get to know why. That's my take on that subject.
Thank you.
Just to piggyback on you, you know, when he ends and says, you may suffer because of unknown reasons, even among righteous people. I want to say that you might suffer or you will suffer